What up guys, Alex here, GuitarForce.com. So today we're going to take a look at Peter Gabriel's Digging in the Dirt. There's something new onto this channel. We haven't done any Peter Gabriel or any style like that, so this is the first one. And it's thanks to Frank, a long-time supporter who has requested and supported this lesson. So big thanks goes out to him. This lesson is going to be, there are different versions out there of this song. You know, the studio version, single version, instrumental version, live version, and they all slightly different to each other. So we're going to kind of combine from different parts of different versions into one, and we're going to break it down in this lesson. The tabs and the backing track are going to be available at GuitarForce.com. Also, for the sound, I was using Steel VST plugin Guitar Rig. I'm going to show you the picture of the preset in just a moment. The tuning for this song is going to be half step down on all the strings, so keep that in mind. And while you're checking out the picture of the preset, I'm going to play you my low E so you can tune up and play along with this lesson. Alright, one more thing before we start the lesson. If I make a cover playthrough of this song, I'm going to post a link in the description box down below so you can check it out. Alright, let's go for the close-up and start this lesson. Alright, so we're going to start off with the intro from the live version, and we have the keyboard melody going on there, which is also being played underneath during the verses. So the melody goes like this. Alright, so it's a repetitive melody, just playing 3 notes. On the guitar it's going to be on the D string 12th fret going to 11 to 10, so it's a chromatic kind of passage. And you know, just using different rhythms, playing over, you know, playing these 3 notes just like that, just like I showed you. So D string, 12, 11, 10. And you can come up with any kind of rhythm for this melody. You know, something like that. Now the guitar part during the live version is playing some harmonics, and again different versions, different live versions, they play different melodies there. But from this live version from the 93, I think, it's just playing, so it starts off with so it starts with 7 frets on the D and the G strings. Then we go to G string 5th fret, and then low E on the 5th fret. I'm sorry. Then we have these harmonics. So now he starts off playing on the G string 5th fret, then goes to B string 7th fret, and then G string 7th fret, and adding some vibrato with a tremolo arm. Then the next part is going to be so again starts off with the G string 5th fret, then we go to B string 7th fret, and then this time he plays on the high E 7th fret, like that. And then after that he just plays just randomly picking. The first time he picks the 3 strings like D, G and the B string on the 7th fret with the down pick, down picking, and then up picking, so kind of like a reverse rig, but again playing this string. So any strings that you get on the 7th fret, you know, is going to be fine. And like I said, in different versions he plays differently. So he might go to the 5th fret using the high strings and stuff like that. So that's the intro part for the live version. Alright, so now we go into the next part, which is the pre-verse and the verse, and we have two riffs going on there. Again, at different versions, live and the studio version, they played slightly differently. And we're going to break down riff number 1, which is being played during the studio version, the single version. And it just plays this. So we have... So it's kind of two-part riff, and the first part we have, so it's open to the second fret on the D string, then we have G open, back to D on the second fret, hold on to this note for a little bit longer, and then quickly play an open, or just pull off to the open string, like that, and then second part. So it's again the same thing, open to the second fret on the D, G string open, back to the second fret on the D, then pick it one more time, and then go to the low E on the third fret with a slight bend, like that. And then we go back to the first part, and then we have again. So you gotta listen in the context of the song, and it just makes sense. So that's the first riff. Now we're going to come back to this riff again because during the other versions we play this riff also during the next part, and it's slightly different. I'm going to show you how it goes, but we'll get to that later on. Now we go to riff number 2, which is being played during the verses when Peter actually sings, and it goes like this. Alright, so here we have open to the second fret on the A string, then we play D string open, hold on to these notes for a little bit longer, then we quickly fret the second fret and we play the note, little rest, then we have, so it's a slide on the G string into the 4th fret, open, and then 2nd fret. Add some vibrato and then quickly pull off to the open string. Like that. So this is first part of riff number 2, and then we have the second part. So again we have open to the second on A. Then we go to D string, we play open to the 2nd fret, pick it one more time, and pull off to open. Little rest, and then we have... So it's again slide from the 2nd fret to the 4th to the open on the G string. Little rest, and then we have... So it's open to the 2nd, pick it one more time, and then pull off to open. So one more time, this second part gonna be like this. Okay, so now I'm gonna play the second riff, both parts together slowly, so it goes like this. Alright, so now we go into the next part, and this is the part where it starts off with Peter singing "This Time You've Gone Too Far." Now we have two guitar parts going on there. The one is which is played on the overdriven guitar, kind of power chords going on, so it goes like this. Okay, so nothing too complicated here. We just hit the E power chord twice, then there is a rest, and then we repeat. And this is played throughout the whole section. Now we have another guitar, like I said, and it's playing riff number 1, the one we've looked at before, but it's playing slightly differently. Now, depending on which version you're listening to, on the instrumental version, it goes like this. Okay, so we have again open to the second on the D string, then we play G string open, back to D second fret, adding some vibrato, and then we hit it again, and then again we go to the low E third fret with a slight bend. So that's the first part, and then the second part, we have a slide here from the 5th fret to the 7 on the A, then playing D string 5th fret, back to the 7th fret on the A string, and then we repeat but with the hammer on. So we have twice like that, and then we go back to the first part. You can play this here as well, using the G string open, but you can hear that it's a slide. So, you know, I presume he's playing it on the A string here. Now during the live version and the single version, the riff is exactly the same, but with the exception of when we play the second part, it's not played twice, this lick, but only once. So it's going to be like this. Now, there is another way how you can play this riff, and I kind of came up with this riff by combining the two parts of the guitar. So instead of playing, you know, just the power chords here, you can actually use this the low E string open hidden twice and then playing the riff. So it's going to be like this. So, as you can see, it starts off with 2 hits on the low E string, then we play, go into the bend on the low E, and then again, playing 2 times, and then the second part, you can play either, so twice, right, sliding here and then hammering on, or you can play only once, and then again, going to the low E twice, hitting it twice, and then, you know, starting the riff from the start. And again, you can vary. You can play the slide here, or you can play, you know, just using the open G string. So one more time, this riff slowly is going to be like this. Alright, so moving on, we go into the next part, which starts off with Peter singing Don't Talk Back, and so on. We have a keyboard and guitar kind of at the same time going on. We have some chords, and basically the part goes like this. So here we play chordally, so we have a few chords going on here. So the first few chords we have G, D, G. Now the voicing I found for these to play, the first one is here, and I'm kind of playing the triads. So this one, it's the G chord in the shape of C, but I'm not using the root notes, I'm just playing this triad, right, just these 3 strings, and then we go to the D, and again the D, I'm not playing the root note, but just these 3 strings, so it's easy to play it like that. All you do is just play the G, then go into to D, and then back to G. Like that. And that's the first part. Then we have A, D, A. And for that part I'm using, again, triads. So here I'm using the kind of bar chord, but I'm just playing 3 strings here of the A. And then I'm barring the D chord again without the root note, like a triad, and then back to A. So we have, then again we have this, the first part, which is the G, D, G. And then we have, so it's A again to D. So I found these voicings kind of sound nice without the root notes. Well, in A we have the root note, but it's played on here, on the D string. And I think it sounds okay. So that's the part where we have the keyboard and guitar going on at the same time. Alright, so now we go into the next part, which is the chorus. And again, depending on which version you are listening to, it's played every time slightly differently. But we have just some chords going on here, played on the clean guitar. I'm going to play like he did on the live version, and it goes like this. Alright, so that's the chord progression. Again, like I said, it's played differently each time. During this live version, he plays like this. So we start off with B minor 7. You can hammer on here, like that. So it's for 2 beats. Then we go to A for 2 beats. Then the next chord is going to be D for 2 beats. Then we have G, D for 1 beat each, and then we are back to A. And you can play like A sus4, so adding here the 3rd fret on the B string, and we stay on this chord for the whole bar. So we have D, then we go to G, D, A. Now, just keep in mind that, again, you can use different voicings here, and sometimes instead of D right here, you know, just a standard D, I'm using, again, the triad, because it's again, in the shape of C, D chord in the shape of C, but I'm not playing the root note, so I'm just playing the triad again, like we did here. So I'm using here. It just sounds a little bit different, like that. Then for the G, you can use, again, kind of higher strings, you know, triad, D to A. And for the A, like I said, the suspended 4th, but also using the high E string open. And you can kind of arpeggiate it, something like that, just create a little melody here. So that's the first round. Then we go to the second round. And again, it starts off with the B minor 7 to A. Here he just does this with an upstroke, just quickly hitting that chord, cutting it out, and then going to D chord, G, D, A again. But this time, instead of staying on it for 1 bar, we stay on just 2 beats, half bar. Then we go again to B minor 7, and then we have G, D, A. Alright, so that's the chord progression for the chorus. And like I said, you can use different voicings here. So for example, there is another way how you can play it, and it's going to be like this. So you can move up to here using the bar chords, and again I'm not using the root notes all the time, just kind of concentrating on the triads here. So you can start with the B minor sound here, or just B minor, B minor going to A, then the next chord is going to be D, and you can use just the triad here, and then again G, D to A. So that's the first round. And for the suspended fourth, you can use this with the pinky on the G string. And you're going to have high E open, and this one is also E. Then second round, again we have the B minor 7. Or B minor to A, to D, G, D, A, for 2 beats, and then we go again for B minor, and then we have the G, D, A, and again adding the suspended fourth. So there is a few possibilities, variations how you can use the different voicings for this section. Alright, so after we've played the chorus, we then go into the break, which is very similar to the intro part. So again, we have the harmonics going on there. You can just experiment and use different harmonics here and there, but it's pretty much the same on the 5th fret and 7th frets of the same strings. And then after that we go into, again, the verse, and all of the parts repeat themselves basically. When we get to the chorus, instead of playing it once, we play it 2 times, so it's kind of an extended version part of the chorus. We play it twice, and that's pretty much all of the parts that we've covered. They're exactly the same. So that's the whole song basically. Alright guys, so that was it for this lesson. Hope you liked it. If you did like it, please give it a thumbs up. Also comment, share, subscribe if you're new to my channel. Don't forget to visit GuitarForce.com for more guitar lessons. In the meantime, I'll see you again. Take it easy, and as always, let the force be with you.